From the high-definition educational broadcast center at Bergen Community College's main campus in Paramus, this is Studio Bergen. Hi everyone, I'm Larry Levanka, and welcome to this month's episode of Studio Bergen, your connection to the state's largest community college. We begin this episode with coverage of the college's annual Women's History Month recognition events, which took place throughout March. Keynote speaker, author Evelyn McDonnell, visited March 6th to discuss her work. Reading from her book, Queens of Noise, the real story of the Runaways, the all-female rock band fronted by Joan Jett, McDonnell talked about the origins of the band.
On a summer day in 1975, Joan Larkin picked up her Sears Silvertone guitar and boarded a bus in Canoga Park, a Los Angeles suburb in the northern part of the San Fernando Valley. The girl with the Susie Quattro haircut was 16 but didn't have a driver's license. Her destination? Huntington Beach, in the heart of what architecture critic Raina Bannon once dubbed surfurbia.
Female rockers also headlined the Cafe Bergen event, which featured Runaways tribute band, the Stay-at-Homes. Additionally, Bergen faculty and students showcased their talents in the evening jam session. Other events included the popular Book and Brunch series, a photo exhibition, and a month-closing lunch with dance performances. Meanwhile, in recent months, the college has begun the multi-year process to obtain reaccreditation from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. The college completes this process once every decade. As part of the reaccreditation, President Dr. B.K. Walter and the college's executive team established a comprehensive self-study model to address Middle State's 14 standards of excellence and appointed a self-study steering committee to oversee the self-study process, which will conclude in 2016 with a visit from Middle State's appointed teams. To talk about this process and why Middle States matters to the college, we're lucky to have the steering committee's co-chair, Professor Soni Tiwari, in studio. Soni, it's kind of in the wind right now why Middle States matters and why this is relevant to the college. Why does it matter?
It's a really great question. It's something I think we're really trying to focus on in this early stage of the self-study process. Reaccreditation, and by the way you say reaccreditation, I think I need to work on that, considering in the next 2 years we'll be saying that word a lot. This process, it's not a self-serving exercise. Reaccreditation, it allows students to transfer their credits when they're considering four-year colleges. Reaccreditation, it gives a certain legitimacy to teaching and research efforts of our faculty. Reaccreditation, it gives grant money to students, to faculty, to facilities here, and any other innovative educational initiatives that we're trying to move forward. So,
in a word, it's a big deal, right?
It's a really big deal,
yeah.
Right.
To somebody who's watching this, right, who may not be totally familiar with the inner workings of the college, let's talk about that a little bit. This is something that every college in the Northeast, every college in the country, maybe not through Middle States, but everybody has to go through this.
That's right. There's 6 regional accrediting bodies in the United States. And in our area, the country, Middle States is a regulator that was given power by the U.S. Department of Education to confirm accreditation to any institution. And we've had accreditation since 1972, so almost since the foundation of our college in 1965. And every 10 years, we go through this self-study process to essentially ensure that we're doing what we're saying we're doing, and to kind of investigate and see what areas can we improve, what are we doing well, what do we need to continue to work on.
Expand upon that self-study process.
Right.
I mean, again, that may not have any relevance to somebody watching. Talk about what goes on in a self-study.
So what goes on is the president and the executive team in last fall, they decided to choose a comprehensive self-study model. So instead of just looking at 1 or 2 or 3 areas of the college, it was determined that we needed to investigate every area of the college in a comprehensive manner. So from there, the president appointed myself and Dr. Yun Kim, who's the vice president of institutional effectiveness, to co-chair a steering committee, which was then formed, and we have 14 people in the steering committee. Right now, we've been working on a self-study design, which is a sort of template to guide us over the next 2 years. The self-study design has questions in it, research questions that we're hoping to answer over the next 10 to 12 months. Questions that are really relevant, you know, whether you're a student or faculty or you know, a parent or just someone in the community. For example, how are courses sequenced in a way that enables students to achieve learning objectives in degree programs? You know, or how are faculty fairly and accurately evaluated? Questions like this, questions with a lot of relevancy to anyone that's a part of this college.
How the college provides support services to its students, even outside of the classroom, is obviously another target that all of these different groups work on. Talk
Exactly.
about who makes up all these groups.
So from there, from the steering committee, we've now appointed working groups. And the working group members, they come from various elements of the college. We have faculty, really bright faculty. We have faculty that have been here for 20 years. We have some new faculty as well.
Like you.
Like myself, right? We have deans. We have people from the Meadowlands campus. We have people that are in support services here at the college. So it's really a good mix. We even have some student involvement as well. So it's really about reaching out and making sure that all the constituencies at the college are having their voice in this 2-year process.
And in the end, like anything, the culmination is this big visit that happens by a Middle States team, as we talked about earlier, with the hopes that they will say the college is doing a good job and you have your reaccreditation. That's the ultimate goal.
Exactly. The next 12 months we'll be conducting research using documentation and doing interviews with various people here at the college. And then after that, we'll be conducting forums, getting input from the rest of the college and the community at large on the research we've done. And then ultimately in spring of 2016, we'll have an evaluation team visit. And we are expecting them to say, hey, you guys are doing great, congratulations, and here you go, we'll see you in 10 years.
Well, we're definitely all hopeful about that, and I have no doubt with the group that's working on it that the college will certainly do everything it can to ensure its reaccreditation. Sony, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
In other news this month, Professor Keith Chu, chair of the college's Department of History and Geography, learned he would be recognized as a 2013-14 NISOD Excellence Award honoree for his efforts in the classroom. Chu, who has taught at the college since 2004, spoke with us in this month's edition of Faculty Focus about his NISOD award.
To me, it's a stamp of approval, you know, isn't it? It's my colleagues and my peers who are saying that you're doing a good job, that you're on the right path. You know, the college has certain requirements. We need to be effective in the classroom. We need to do research and writing and civic engagement. And inevitably, you do put your own requirements in this job as well. It's good to have a busy schedule. And this is a place where you can essentially flourish and expand your powers as much as you want, to try different things. It tells me that my colleagues respect my work. So I'm very honored and humbled by this recognition.
Honorees frequently remain surprised by honors. Chu was no different.
I knew it was a competitive award. It's a very prestigious award. So I guess I was surprised. I was honored, and I was thankful. I was thankful that faculty and my colleagues around the college know who I am and appreciate my work. So it was a sense of I was ecstatic to learn, obviously, that I have been chosen, but I was also thankful, I think, to them for this recognition.
Bergen remains the only professional home Chu has ever known. He started right after graduate school, where he found his calling.
It's often been said that no one grows up wanting to be a historian. If you ask a little kid, I don't think they'll say, oh, I want to grow up to be a historian. So I think I decided I wanted to do this as a living when I was in college. I had taken some terrific courses. I had some great role models as professors. I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life being around smart people, reading books and writing, attending conferences. So it's just it's not just a career, a way to pay bills, but it's also it's who I am. It's integral to my sort of personality and my essence. So it's not just a job.
Despite the value of history as a topic, it can remain difficult to inspire the next generation of professionals, unlike a class such as nursing or writing.
I know most of my students are not going to become professional historians. 99% of them are not going to become professional historians. So I need to give them knowledge and skills that they can use outside the gates of our campus. So it's not just about giving them content knowledge or historiographical interpretation or giving them the right answers all the time. It's about teaching them how to think critically, to write more persuasively, to think on their feet, to synthesize and to evaluate. And so that's what I feel is my goal.
After all, it's his varied interests and diverse background that make him a successful professor, worthy of a NYSOT award.
And I'm involved not just in doing chair work and teaching, but I'm involved in various committees, Black History Month Committee, the Asian History and Heritage Month Committee. I've been the advisor to the chess club for a long time. I played the trumpet in the ensemble program here, and so that's a great outlet for me. And so this is a place where you're allowed to really develop yourself fully as a faculty member, it's given me, it's met my wildest expectations, and it's been a great career move.
Another professor that had his name in lights last month was Jim Bumgardner, who was recognized as the Skyline Theater Company's 2014 Horizon Award honoree. At the group's annual Concert of Stars Gala, February 28th, the professor was lauded for his support of the arts. In addition to teaching at Bergen, Bumgardner produces Bergen Stages, the college's theater production series, each year. Our next story definitely strikes a chord for anyone that has ever yearned to break on through or find an LA woman. Drummer John Densmore of the legendary rockers The Doors visited for a 2-day stint in March, leading 2 sessions, a lecture for students on The Doors' creative process and an evening conversation and jam session with Bergen students and faculty. Before a 3-song set that featured Doors hits Riders on the Storm, The Crystal Ship, and Roadhouse Blues, Densmore sat down for a conversation with Professor Andy Cricken, who organized the event. Densmore discussed his book, The Doors Unhinged, his personal account of the fight to prevent the group from over-commercialization and selling out. Cricken then stepped into Jim Morrison's shoes as Densmore assumed his usual position on the snares for Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Till this house will burn, till this world will thrown.
The event filled the 300-seat Anna Maria Saccone Theater at the college's main campus in Paramus. Speaking of packed houses, the topic of our next story is one for foodies. Every week in the humble confines of room C210 at the main campus, the quarters transform into the Bergen Room, a bustling, first-rate restaurant managed, operated, and run entirely by the college's hotel, restaurant, and hospitality program students. Like any great restaurant, though, reservations are hard to come by. Professor Robert Waljasper said the reason is because of the professional environment developed by faculty, which produces a rounded experience that prepares students for entry into the industry.
By the time that they come here, it's at the end of the 2-year program for most of them, and it's a great opportunity. Instead of seeing just one spot, perhaps if you want to be the front of the house or the back, you see the whole thing, from working the line to working the pot station, working the dish area, working in the dining room. And to me, that's really important because then you get a picture of the whole operations instead of just your one small spot.
Each week during the spring semester, the Bergen Room opens for lunch on Wednesdays and for dinner on Thursdays, with students like Kelly Farah leading the way.
It's a little hectic here. Everybody's skills are a little different. Like, I would love to be more in the front of the house, but I've been in the kitchen the last few weeks, so I'm definitely learning different skills that I wouldn't learn just at work.
The constant at the Bergen Room is the high level of service and skill of the students, according to customers like retired instructor Connie Wassmer.
We mainly come because the food is outstanding. We've never had a bad meal, and we've been coming for lunch at least 10 years, would you say? 9 or 10 years.
The experience is a win-win. Students receive valuable hands-on experience, and members of the public have an opportunity to enjoy a gourmet meal for a fraction of what they would pay at other establishments. The Bergen Room is open to the public each week. For reservations, call 201-447-7222. Given that it is Earth Month, it seems like an appropriate time to debut a new segment this month that will discuss the many green initiatives that the college has undertaken. Here is Professor Rachel Wieland with the Sustainability Minute.
So here at Bergen, most of the stuff in our cafeteria is actually compostable. So if you pick up your food and you put them in any of these containers, whether they're paper-based or they're plant-based, like this cup is plant-based, it's not recyclable, it's compostable, or the silverware, these are not plastic, these are all plant-based. All these items are compostable, including this paper. So in New Jersey, most of our garbage either goes to the incinerator in Newark or a landfill, and what we're doing here at Bergen is we're converting our trash back into soil. This is going to get converted back into soil. It goes into our compost bucket, it goes to a farm, and they convert it back to dirt. Now, it's very important that students put their refuge in the correct place. If it's compostable, it needs to go into this bucket here. And that, of course, includes any kind of food. And by that, fruit, veggies, meat, bones, any kind of food goes in this bucket. And this will go to the farm and be converted to soil. And in this bucket, any kind of recycling, cans, bottles, anything like that. And this only accepts trash. Now, just a minute ago, I found this and this in the compost. These items are not compostable. I found this in the trash. So we need to make sure that we're sorting our items in the correct spot. And we appreciate your support. Thank you for making the world and our campus a better place.
At its March 6th Chairman's Reception event, the Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey recognized the Paramus Bergen Community College Rotary with the Inspirational Good Works Award for its charitable efforts. Since the chapter's inception 6 years ago, the college's Rotarians have conducted events such as a luncheon for veterans and a fundraiser that netted $2,000 for the Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge. Marie Jardine, chapter president, accepted the award on behalf of the 14-member club comprised of school employees. Including the college, the CIA&J recognized 33 organizations at the event. Speaking of the business community, for the past 2 years, the Meadowlands Regional Accelerator at Bergen Community College has found a home at the college's Lyndhurst location. Providing early-stage businesses the support services, guidance, and networking opportunities that are critical to transforming an idea into a successful business, more than a dozen businesses in fields such as green energy and technology utilize the space to grow. Two of those owners, James Van Ness and Scott Fisher, said the Accelerator has been a critical part of gaining traction for their businesses.
We're excited about taking advantage of the programs within the adult continuing education department to help us get a better handle on how to run and grow a business and scale. We're profitable, and we're just at the point where I'm trying to spin off things that I do.
Not only has it provided us with professional environment for our employees to do their jobs, it's also provided us with guidance, support, resources, introductions to important folks that are in our line of work. and and the daily support that we need to really do a good job at what we do.
For more information on the Accelerator or the companies participating in it, visit bergen.edu/Meadowlands. Another prominent event last month was the second TEDx conference, sponsored by the college. The event, directed by English professor Ellen Feig, features short lectures on a variety of topics given by field experts. Bergen remains one of only 20 colleges in the world to earn a TEDx license. On the sports page, 2 Bergen wrestlers earned spots in the 2014 NJCAA Wrestling National Championship in Spokane, Washington earlier this month. Mike Amaro capped the coast-to-coast trip by placing 7th in a field of 32 en route to notching one of 8 All-America bids. Competing in the 197-pound class, Amaro finished the tournament 5-2. His only losses came at the hands of the 1st and 4th place finishers. Entering the national competition with an 11-2 record, Amaro led the 2013-14 Bulldogs in wins. He transferred from Edinburgh University this year. Stephen Orlick, 149 pounds, also earned a trip to the national tournament, but fell short in both of his matches. Meanwhile, students wrestling with their future plans had an opportunity to meet with representatives from four-year schools at this semester's college fair, March 5th. Students discussed their transfer options while meeting with admissions personnel from dozens of four-year schools. Hopefully, some of the students in our next story stay close to home when they make their college choice and choose a career in a so-called STEM field. At the annual Teen STEM Day, March 21st, more than 1,000 teenagers from 18 Bergen County high schools arrived by the busload to attend the event at the main campus. Students participated in nearly 36 hands-on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math workshops, such as being a veterinarian, hosted by Bergen faculty, students, and industry professionals. Topics included lessons about robotics, alternative energy, and other exploratory ideas. Organizer, Professor Judith Fitzpatrick, said she hopes the event breaks the traditional convention of STEM careers.
I think what we have today is an opportunity to introduce our high school students to the many, many things that you need a technical education for and a technical career for, and the many kinds of exciting people and what they do in their lives.
Turning our attention to this month's campus calendar, the college's resident thespians will lead a rendition of the Threepenny Opera mid-month in the Anna Maria Saccone Theater. For a full list of performances and ticket prices, visit tickets.bergen.edu. Summer registration opens for all students April 15th. Summer sessions remain an excellent way to get ahead, even for students home for the summer from other four-year schools. Visit bergen.edu/summer 2014 for more information. And finally, an evening of original Philippine music will take place Saturday, April 26th at 7:30 p.m. in the Anna Maria Saccone Theater. To purchase tickets, visit tickets.bergen.edu. In our Student Success Spotlight this month, we welcome Amy Anteby, who is using her artistic talents and Bergen education to develop a now thriving business. Amy, thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing. You're, like I said, you're using your Bergen education, but you have a business now where you're creating artwork.
Right. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I've always loved art. Since I learned how to pick up a crayon, I've been kind of scribbling all over the world. And it's just been something that I wanted to do to share it with other people. And finally, I guess I got that little push that a bunch of people were telling me that people might enjoy my artwork. So I figured, why not start selling it?
Give it a shot, huh? So you went from crayons to, you're actually producing earrings here and all kinds of different things. Tell us about some of the things you create.
So it initially actually started with dream catchers. I don't remember how I got started. I think I was just curious, and I love making things. So I started with that. I looked it up online, and I made this one dream catcher, and it came out really horribly now that I look back. But I practiced a lot. And over time, I started experimenting with different designs. And instead of feathers, I would use like soda tabs and a bunch of other things. It was really cool. And then once I got that, I looked at jewelry and I said, okay, maybe people will enjoy this too, because jewelry is obviously like a popular item to sell. So I took the dream catcher thing and I made some earrings.
It has a Native American flair. Is there?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, a dream catcher is a Native American
Right.
item. Is there any reason, any connection to the Native American community, or it's just something that speaks to you?
A little bit. I mean, well, more speaks to me because spiritually, like, I'm very into like meditation and
Very
like,
zen, huh?
Very, yeah. And like I was reading up on like different animal, I forgot the word, but
It's okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'm reading up on a lot of different like cultures, I guess, and how that is like integrated, and it fascinates me. I love it.
So, I mean, it's like any artist or any creative person hates hearing this kind of question, but where do you get your ideas? They just kind of pop into your head, or do you go in with a plan? Or, I mean, obviously you have the Native American influence there a little bit, but talk a little bit about that.
So there's a website, Pinterest, and I go on that a lot, just scroll through like different designs to see what they have. Usually I start out with one idea and then it becomes something else entirely. Like this morning, for example, I was working on a new dream catcher and I had this metal ring and I started wrapping it in like the regular white paper that I used, and then I found a thing of lace and I was like, this might look cool. So I started wrapping the lace around it, and then I thought, oh, I don't know where my beads are right now, but that was the plan. So I'm going to take these spikes that I have, and I started using those, and it was cool. It came out really cool in the end. But
it's kind of an eco-friendly way of designing art. You're kind of using whatever you can find around.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned the soda tabs before.
Yeah.
Is that something, again, that was conscious, or it kind of happened that way?
Anything I see, I kind of just think, like I'm always thinking in those terms, like, can I use this for something? Like I started making these with the rims of cups. So like any little thing I can find, I'll be like, oh, this, maybe I could make it into something. I'll see a cool rock and I can drill a hole in this and make it into something. Like.
How do you think, turning the attention to your business now that you have, how did you get that started, and what is the business? Tell us about that.
Sure. So it's called Over the Rainbow by Amy Beth. The name, a little background on that, is when I was little, my lullaby was Over the Rainbow, Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Wizard of Oz. And it's something that I forgot about for a few years, but then recently it came back to me a little bit, and like I don't know, something about it really hit home, and I thought, wow, like this is something that's like a very important memory to me, so I'm gonna integrate it with something that I want to do. And this is the business itself. I've been wanting to start for a while, but I wasn't really sure how to. So one day I kind of just said, you know what, just do it. And I made a Facebook page and like just put the title. I put up a couple pictures of what I had already, and just invited all my friends. And
now you're getting inquiries from all over the place.
Yeah.
And people are buying your work.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we just reached over a little over 100 likes, and I have people from across the country that are liking the page and saying, oh, where are you located? Can I buy something? What are you selling? I'm like, oh, well, the inventory is there. Take a look. Feel free.
How do you think Bergen helped you kind of establishing this business and getting you on a path for this?
Well, I'm taking a contemporary art class, and through that, I've also used some of the images that we view there for inspiration. And I've been talking to my professor, and I showed her my sketchbook a little bit, and she kind of gave me some encouragement, which was very helpful. And I've been using basically as many of the resources as I can here. Like I've been spending a lot of time just kind of in the art club and everything else, just looking around, seeing what I could find.
Very cool. So final plug, if somebody wants to get in touch with you or buy your art, where can they call or visit the Facebook page or website?
Yeah, the Facebook page is probably the best bet.
Okay, and it's Over the Rainbow? Go ahead.
It's facebook.com/OTR by Amy Beth.
Thank you very much, Amy. You know, it's not quite my style. I'd look a little Mr. T, I guess, but you know, I think it looks great, and good luck with everything you're doing. Okay. That wraps up our show this month. So thank you to Amy for being with us. For Bergen Community College, I'm Larry Levanka. Thanks, and take care.